It is day 19 of Vlogmas and it is time to talk about some musicals that I am very excited to see in 2023. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is a Vlogmas video. I am posting a new video every day in December up to and including Christmas Day. And we're doing a mixture of bookish and theatrical content, and today we are back to the theatre and we're going to be talking about shows I'm very excited for that I should be getting the chance to go and see next year. I say should because I've not booked tickets for all of these yet, but some of them I have. We'll get to that in a minute. Tomorrow I will be doing my typical most anticipated releases for like the next block of months video that I normally do, but I thought with me bringing in like more theatrical content, I would also talk about some shows that I'm very, very excited for, because we've had quite a few announcements what's going to happen next year. There's still going to be plenty more. Like, the amount of notice you get for a musical announcement varies greatly. Sometimes you can have a ticket for something for like 2 years before you actually go and see it. Other times it can be like 2 weeks and then it's on. So the ones I'm going to talk about today are ones that we do know are already happening, but there's plenty that will be announced in the coming months. And I am going to go through like plans for my channel later on in Vlogmas, but let's just say if there are any more announcements going forward, I will be talking about them on here. So it's absolutely fine. We're not going to miss out. We're just going to talk about the ones that we already know about right now. So I've tried to put these in order, but there are a couple that are happening like quite close together. So there's a chance that they're not quite right. And also, like, I am not here as a person to give you like all the specific details of like when these shows are on or where you can get your tickets and things like that. I'm just here to talk about things that I am excited about, maybe make you aware of a couple of things that you may not have known about so far. If you do want any more information on these specific shows, it is all out there. I'm just not going to be giving you that today. I am in the middle of filming 25 videos and I do not have time to be looking up individual dates for absolutely everything. I'm very, very sorry. But we're going to start off with one that I do know is starting very soon, because actually when you see this, it will have already started. I will have already seen it. I have tickets for it next week, but I know it is carrying on through to February, and that is Newsies. Newsies is one of my favourite shows that I've never actually seen on stage because it's not had a UK professional production yet, and it is finally starting at the Troubadour Theatre, I think it's called. It's in Wembley. It's a newer theatre that was only built in the last couple of years. I've not actually had a chance to go to it yet because the productions they've had on so far I've not been interested in, but I'm very, very excited for this one. It's described as a more immersive production, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. And to be honest, I just really, really want to see Newsies on stage. I have two lots of tickets booked for this already. I'm going to see it with Meg next week, so like I said, by the time you see this I will have already seen it, but I'm going to go and see it in January with my mum as well, and who knows, I may go and see it another time in between. We will see. I am down in London for another weekend where I haven't booked all my shows yet, so there's a potential it could happen. Then the beginning of February there is a concert that I would like to go to. I have not booked tickets yet. The concert is actually for somebody called Benjamin Ralhalla. I think I'm pronouncing his name right, but I always worry that I'm saying it wrong. But basically Ben works as musical director, mainly for something which I think has recently been renamed to the like Disney Princess Concert, but it was Broadway Princess Party before, and it was essentially a bunch of actresses who have played Disney princesses on Broadway doing a concert together. He is also the musical director for Jeremy Jordan whenever he does his concerts, and that's how I've come to know him. He plays the piano for Jeremy Jordan's concerts and also has quite a lot of like on-stage banter with him as well. And I met Ben at Stage Door. He's absolutely lovely, and he's doing a concert over here where he's getting a lot of his friends from the West End to come and sing. He's known for doing a lot of medleys and mashups of songs, and I'm just really like interested to see what he does working with other people, because generally I've only really seen him work with Jeremy Jordan, and the list of people that he's got for the show are really, really good. Thinking off the top of my head, there's people who've been in Six before. I think Jordan Luke Gage is going to be there. I think Luke Bayer is going to be there as well. I think Jodie Steele as well, but I could be wrong about that one. There's just people that I like have liked in other things, and I'm hoping that I will actually be able to go and see this concert because it just sounds like a really fun evening. Speaking of fun, Great British Bake Off the musical is starting in February. It's going to be at the Noel Coward Theatre, which is where Dear Evan Hansen has been playing until recently, and you know, a bit of a vibe change there, going from like depressed teenager to Bake Off. But I'm excited for it. I think I have heard good things about it. I think it's had a small run out of town and I heard good things about it. But I don't know. I'm being cautiously optimistic. But I haven't booked tickets yet, but I do plan on seeing it. I just want to see what it's like, really. I'm just intrigued. On to another one that I have got tickets for. We have got Once the Musical in concert. So Once started life as a film. I've never actually seen the film. I probably should watch it before I go and see the musical. It's about like a singer-songwriter, I think. All I really know is the song Falling Slowly. I have actually listened to the cast recording of the musical, but like still Falling Slowly is the one that sticks in my head because that's the one that was like the standout from the film. But actually I've been wanting to see this musical for a while. I contemplated getting tickets for it when it was on in London years ago at the Phoenix Theatre and just never like had the chance to actually go and see it. Then I got tickets to go and see it on tour, but then that tour got cancelled because of the pandemic. And now they're doing a concert version that is going to have Jamie Moscato and Carrie Hope Fletcher in it. And they were the original Veronica and JD that I saw in Heathers. And I love both of them individually and I love their chemistry together as well. And I'm very, very excited to see this one. I do have tickets for it. We bought them like pretty much immediately because like I had to go and see this one without a doubt. Speaking of tickets that were bought pretty much immediately, this is a show I've already seen, but I'm just very excited to see it again. It is Bonnie and Clyde. It had a concert version earlier on this year. It then had a short run at the Arts Theatre, and now it is transferring to the Garrick Theatre for another short run next year. It's starting on the 4th of March. The reason I know it's starting on the 4th of March is because I have tickets to opening night. Also, I believe it's closing on the 20th of May, and the reason I know that is because I also have tickets for closing night, and I do have a ticket in between, and then I'm potentially going once more in between as well. I really, really love this show. I really love the cast. I was a bit cautious when they announced it because they didn't actually announce who the cast was going to be, and like it seemed like they were bringing back Jordan Luke Gage and Frances Mailey McCann to play Bonnie and Clyde, but like we weren't definite, but they have now announced it, so I'm fine. Like I feel justified in buying free tickets for it now because I loved both of them in those roles, and I'm excited to be able to see them again. And yeah, I'm just going to take every advantage to do it because who knows if it'll end up getting a longer run or if this is going to be the end of Bonnie and Clyde, which sounds very reminiscent of the show. But anyway, we then have one that is actually a really long running show, but I'm just really, really excited for a cast change that is happening, and that is Wicked. So at the minute in Wicked, we have got Lucy Jones playing Elphaba, Helen Wolf playing Glinda, and Ryan Reid playing Fiyero. Now, during the pandemic, there were a lot of discussions about kind of diversity of casting in musical theatre. Now, I don't actually remember Wicked making a statement in particular, but when I saw the announcement of this casting, I did see something about how Wicked had promised that they were going to make more of an effort to be more diverse in their casting. Now, what they have now done with the cast change they are bringing in is something that is quite momentous in the history of any production of Wicked, in which we have 3 black actors playing the 3 main roles. So Ryan Reid is going to be continuing as Fiyero, and then actually returning to the role of Elphaba is going to be the actress Alexia Kadim. She was actually the first black woman to ever play the role of Elphaba as the sort of principal lead, so not as a cover or an understudy, as the sort of full-time main cast member. And this was a while ago now, but also like it was a fair amount of time into Wicked in its existence before that happened, and it was quite a momentous thing back then anyway. And now joining this cast, which is completed by Lucy St. Louis playing the role as Glinda. She has recently been playing Christine in Phantom of the Opera, and this sort of trio of black actors playing those lead roles is something historic in the casting of this show, and I want to see it for that reason, because obviously it is good to see people being given these opportunities, especially as Wicked are like following through on what they've promised. But also like I'm just excited to see these actors. I actually saw Wicked when Alexia Kadim was in it before, but she wasn't on the day that I went to see it. I have seen her in other roles before, and she wasn't necessarily my favourite in those roles that I saw her in. I saw her as Eponine in Les Mis, and I found there were things with her version of Eponine they just weren't quite like how I would picture Eponine. But also that's partly just because I've seen it so many times and so many different versions of it that I'm always going to have like preferences of different things. And also some of the stuff that she chose to do as Eponine would work as Elphaba, so I'm just excited to see what choices she makes for this. Lucy St. Louis I'm very, very excited to see, because I saw her as Christine in Phantom and she was so good, so I'm excited to see what she can do as Glinda, because Glinda is a character that's very hit and miss for me. I've seen versions of it that I've loved and I've seen versions I've hated, and I'm hoping that Lucy St. Louis is one that I love. I have already seen Ryan Reid as Fiyero, and he was great. I have nothing bad to say about him, so I'm excited to see him again, and I'm excited to see Wicked with this new cast. We then have another concert. This one I do have tickets for, and this one's going to be on the 1st of April, and it is Ariana DeBose. Ariana DeBose was in the original cast of Hamilton. She played the bullet, so she's the one who sort of like moves around and pretends that she's holding a bullet as she's dancing. She also won an Oscar and many other awards for playing Anita in the recent adaptation of West Side Story. She was in the adaptation of The Prom as well. She was in the Donna Summer musical on Broadway. She's done lots of things. She also hosted the Tony Awards last year and sang an amazing opening number that was written with Benjamin Malhalla, who I spoke about earlier. He is actually the musical director for this concert as well. And the song was called This Is Your Round of Applause, and I know that Meg's gonna be watching this, and that song is going to be in her head now, and you are welcome for that. And yeah, I really, really love her as a performer. I'm excited to see what her and Ben do together for the concert, because I think there's going to be some very interesting medleys and things going on, and I'm just excited for that show in general. Then we have one that's a little bit random to be one that I'm excited for, and to be honest, part of me like doesn't want to see it, but part of me is very, very intrigued. It is the SpongeBob musical. Yes, that is a musical based on SpongeBob SquarePants, which sounds like it's going to be awful, but I've actually heard really, really good things about it, and it's going on a tour in the UK, and like I don't want to see it in a way because I don't want to like be sat there with like all the kids, because it's obviously going to be full of kids, but also like I do want to see it because it just sounds intriguing. So I just thought I would include it in this list. Maybe I will buy tickets, maybe I won't, we'll see. Then we have got Oklahoma, which is not a show that I thought I was that excited for, but they've just announced the cast and that's made me more excited for it. So I believe this is taking the recent Broadway production and bringing it over here. It was on for a shorter run at, I think, the Young Vic last year, and it's going to be doing a run at the Wyndham's Theatre. I could be getting these theatres completely wrong, but it's going to be doing a run there for a few months, sort of like next springtime. And I was planning on going to see it because my mum wants to see it and I was going to go with her. And I did say, like, if they bring the cast that they had last year with them, I will be more excited to see it. And then they've just announced the cast, and it is the cast that was on at the production last year. And it includes Arthur Darvill, who was in Doctor Who, and that's basically why I'm excited to go and see it. So yeah, I don't really know too much about Oklahoma. I have like, I've definitely seen it at some point in my life, and I can like sing some of the songs to you, but it's not like one that I know like inside and out. So we will see. Maybe I will like it, maybe I won't, but I will be going to see it because I'm buying my mum tickets as a present. Speaking of ones that I'm taking my mum to go and see, I will be going to see La Caja Falls when that is on at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre next summer. This is one that does appeal to me. I believe part of the show is about drag that just sounds fun. The other song I know from it is like I Am What I Am, which, you know, could be like a really well done song or just like a really over the top ridiculous song. We will see. But it's a show my mum's wanted to see for a while. So again, I promised her that I will go and see it with her. I have only been to see one show before at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. It was Legally Blonde last year, and I really, really liked what they did with that. And I did just like the idea of an open air theatre, so I'm excited to go and see another show there, regardless of what it is. And then the last one that I'm very excited for is probably the show that I'm most excited for, and I have tickets for this, but it's not until next September, although it starts in August, and I may try and get tickets for earlier on in the run if I can do, and that show is Next to Normal. Now, Next to Normal started on Broadway like 12-13 years ago. It's taken this long to actually get over to the UK. It is all about a woman's struggle with her mental health and sort of the treatment and how that can be worse than the problem itself, and it is so good, and I love it so much. The music is spectacular, the lyrics in it are amazing, like they just really make you think, and I love it so much, and I'm so excited to go and see it. I feel like I'm gonna cry when I actually get to go and see it, but I'm prepared for that. I'm very excited. So a nice note to end this video on. That is everything that I'm kind of excited for at the minute. I may have missed something off, but I'm sure, like I said, there'll be plenty of other things announced as well. There are some other things that have been announced already, but I'm less excited about those, so I haven't included them. But we all know I'm gonna see lots and lots of shows over the next year, so stay tuned to my channel and you will see my thoughts on all of these shows that I spoke about today. But that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know if there are any musicals that you are particularly anticipating next year, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.